Coldwater, you gotta love Coldwater. Monster, monster Friday night in New York last night for Major League Baseball. You have never, ever seen a bigger Friday for both teams to be good in 2006, 2000, really, long time. And truth be told, Carlos Beltran, him being dead, his career over, I guess a little exaggerated, as he hits a 3-run homer in the most special time you've ever seen in your life. Because, truth be told, and of course it's only August, and we've seen the Cardinals and the Giants come back 7 down in September, and other teams do it too in September. So, just because you're ahead in August doesn't mean that you're locked. But gut feeling, if Yankees lose last night, they get swept, they're done. It looks like they're just in free fall. So again, Andrew Miller shuts the door, Mariano-like, in the biggest save of his career, and the biggest save ever for the Yankees' career as far as Andrew Miller's concerned. So you know that he has the balls to get the job done. Really. Against Troy Tulowitzki, that at-bat was epic. I mean, that at-bat, Tulowitzki fouled off 7 or 8 strikes. And he just kept battling and battling and battling and finally struck him out. Andrew Miller has nasty stuff, as you see. Andrew Miller is good enough to win the World Series, even though he hasn't been lights out his last couple of starts. But yesterday showed in Toronto. Toronto sells out. To get into Toronto last night was like $1,000. I mean, just to get in. Good seats were going for thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. It was like the fucking Rolling Stones were playing in Toronto last night. It's like the Beatles. I mean, it was the biggest ticket they've had in over a decade. For an August game on a Friday night, to show you. David Price on the mound. They were laying 2.5 to 1. The Yankees, being a game out of first place or a half game out of first place, was a 2.5 to 1 underdog. And they cashed the ticket. And they cashed the ticket in one of the greatest games. I mean, it was an August game, so when I say greatest game, obviously I'm hyping it. It's exaggerated, but it felt like a World Series game. It literally felt like a World Series game. It felt like Game 7. That's how intense that game was. It really was. And for the Yankees to win that game, it was a key game. It was a must-win for the Yankees. Must win. Must win. You had to slow down this juggernaut that Toronto has. That would they win 10 or 11 in a row. Looked like they'd never lose. Their pitching is great right now, and their hitting is as good as anybody in baseball. So for the Yankees to win that game is key. Now, obviously, we'll see if Tanaka could win again today there. They have the pitching edge. They have the pitching matchup with Tanaka. And we'll see if the Yankees now in first place can go up by a game and a half. So obviously, right now, Yankees are up by a half game. But it is big. It's very big. I mean, Toronto went into Yankee Stadium and swept them and just, embarrassed them and really outclassed them. And pretty much you thought that the Yankees were done or Toronto was better. Absolutely. I mean, this is the first game I think they've lost with Tulowitzki in the lineup. Think about that. I think they won 12 straight or 12. I think Tulowitzki didn't play for 1 or 2 of the losses. But I think Tulowitzki's like 12-1 with them. Think about that. That's amazing. And when you add 2 $20 million players onto Toronto, David Price, top 3 lefty in baseball. He's a $20 million guy. He's going to get $100 million over 5 years. He might get more. Might get $25 million. Might get $150. I mean, Kershaw got $30 million. I mean, David Price is as good as Kershaw, really. And we've seen David Price, even though he lost in the World Series, he won the AL championship, won all the divisions, Clayton Kershaw can't get out of the second inning in a playoff game, so you can't say Kershaw. You'd rather have Kershaw than Price in a playoff game, so you'd like Price. And Tulowitzki is the best shortstop in baseball, and we're really seeing him. And now, not on a New York or Los Angeles national stage, but, Toronto's showing him right now, and he's the real deal. He's the real deal. I mean, there's no issue about it. Colorado had it right. He is the real deal. So, again, monster win for the Yankees, and Yankee fans can just blow it out. Just blow it out. Blow it out. Now, the other side of New York, the Mets lose a tough game to the Pirates. I mean, look, bottom line is this. When we don't have Harvey or DeGrom or Syndergaard pitching, even though Jonathan Neese in the last 12 starts has been absolutely amazing, when we do not have Harvey, Syndergaard or DeGrom pitching, then the Mets are vulnerable. I mean, you could beat Neese. He's beatable. You could beat Cologne. Cologne is beatable. You could beat anybody else. But really, when Harvey or DeGrom or Syndergaard, and Syndergaard specifically at home, when Syndergaard at home, because on the road he hasn't won a game yet. On the road he's 0-5. On the road he's getting shelled. But at home, Syndergaard's been unhittable. So Harvey, DeGrom, really anywhere, and Syndergaard at home, the Mets can really beat anybody, but the Pirates are better than the Mets. Absolutely, if Harvey or DeGrom or Syndergaard's not on the mound. There's not a question about it, no two ways about it. I rank the Pirates as the third best team in the National League and fourth best team in Major League Baseball. As I've said, I have best team in baseball, still the Giants, still the world champs. Then you go Cardinals, and then you go Pirates, and then you go Mets in the National League. In the American League, like I've always said, there's only one team, and that's the Royals. They're loaded, best bullpen in baseball, should have won the World Series last year, probably going to win the World Series this year. So the Mets last night lose a tough game. Tough game, extra inning game, and again, a lapse in their bullpen, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Everybody, every night, not going to be Mariano Rivera. Everybody, every night is not going to be 100%. And Parnell has been anything but 100%. He's never was what he was. He's now learned to pitch a lot better. He's still epic. I still love him, but I absolutely don't bet on him. I mean, he's, right now he's 50-50. But again, the Mets played a great game. It was a great game. It was a phenomenal game. Cespedes, again, with 3 or 4 hits. The guy's a monster. I mean, I teased on my Facebook. I put up a teasing Facebook post that I would like Fred Wilpon to say something against somebody's race, like really ugly against someone's race, so he has to sell the team. Let Jerry Seinfeld buy the team, and immediately you give Cespedes $300 million. You give DeGrom $300 million. You give Harvey $300 million. And you fucking go win a World Series. Like legit, you go win a World Series. With Wilpon at the helm, it's going to cost $300 to secure Harvey. They're not going to give it to him. $300 to secure DeGrom. They're not going to give it to him. $300 to secure Cespedes. Maybe $250 to secure Cespedes. Maybe you get $30 million 5 years out of him. So maybe you get $150, something like that. Maybe you get $180 for Cespedes. I don't think they're going to give it to him. So I would like something like the Wilpons. I don't want to, wish bad upon anybody, but if they slip in the paper and we do a Sterling, Jerry Seinfeld buys the team, $2 billion, we're rocking and rolling. We're rocking. Maybe Obama buys the fucking Mets too. Why not? We're rolling. So in other words, tough loss for the Mets last night, but they still played really, really well. That game is right there. Could have won the game. Pirates are an epic ball club, soup to nuts. They have the ex-Yankee, because their closer came up in the Yankee system, I think, and he's been lights out. I mean, he's like 34th or 36 or something. He's been unbelievable. So in other words, really tough game for the Mets to win last night. You don't have Harvey on the mound. You don't have DeGrom. You don't have Syndergaard at home. Cologne pitched well. Cologne pitched well enough to win. Nice pitches always well enough to win. And Nice has been epic over the last, 13, 14 starts. But again, one second. But again, I'm doing the video. It's live right now. So you're on the video with me. Jack, Big Jack, on the video right now. So in other words, they played it well enough to win, but, they didn't. So again, they got 3 against the Pirates. They lost the first. We'll see how they do the next 2. You got Harvey on Sunday, so that's a big edge. Harvey has to win that game. So even if they lose 2 or 3, it's not, terrible. Nationals could come back out of first place forever. Nationals could come back done because they're not hitting. They're not hitting. They're just not hitting. I mean, can someone give Jason Worth a fucking haircut already? I mean, you look like a pig. You look like you just walked out of a cabin. You can't look like that and hit 210. You can't hit like that. You hit like that in 310, and you want to be Paul Bunyan, fine. But come on, hitting 210. You're hitting 210. You're a joke. You can't hit a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, Jason Worth. You're getting paid epic money. Well, I guess not any more epic money because the salaries keep going higher and higher. But you're a bust. And as good as Bryce Harper is, and he's amazing, and look at his numbers. Numbers don't lie, right? Numbers don't lie. He's amazing. But Nationals are choke artists. I don't have any confidence in Nationals ever. I have no confidence in the Dodgers ever. And Greinke is not obviously Kershaw, but we've seen Kershaw back-to-back years get humiliated. I mean, be competitive. Get your best pitcher in baseball. You won the Cy Young. Be competitive. Get out of the 3rd inning in a playoff game for your team. Get out of the 3rd inning in a playoff game for your team. Are you serious? I mean, are you legitimately serious? So, Mets last night lose. Yankees win. Yankees again in first place. And then preseason football started for the New York Giants inauspiciously, where it's a preseason game. It's game one. It's the first game that they're playing. They did not look good. But again, it doesn't really matter. You know when it counts. Eli's playing for a contract. Eli's going to have weapons. He has the two best receivers in football, or as good as any receivers in football. God forbid they get a running game. God forbid he gets pass protection. And their defense is susceptible. Their defense is still a question mark. But they can play great defense, and they can win, as we know, as we've seen in the past. So in other words, what I would like to do is let's hold off on this preseason with the Giants. They didn't look good yesterday. They didn't show anything yesterday. But they're going to be an epic ball club. I think they're going to be one of the surprises of the NFC. I would not be surprised if they represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I would not be surprised. I mean, can they beat Seattle? If Eli's unconscious, yes. And especially where you can't touch the receivers anymore. Big edge for the Giants. Big edge. Big edge. Big edge. Seattle's probably still the best team in the NFC, but I still think Giants can beat them. Cowboys going to make some noise. Obviously, Green Bay's going to make some noise. Green Bay, Seattle, obviously odds-on favorites. Not rocket science. Those are the two best teams. On paper, they're the two best teams. Seattle's last run is right now, like I spoke about a little bit yesterday, because, in other words, they're not going to be able to hold any defensive players. They're going to lose 4 stars next year because you just can't pay everybody. Just cannot pay everybody. You just can't pay everybody. So they're going to lose 4 stars next year. So Seattle's run as a defensive juggernaut, a defensive force, is this year. And it's over. And then, so in other words, they almost lost their running back. You didn't even know if he was coming back. So in other words, Seattle's last run is going to be now. It's going to be now because they're not the same team next year, a year from now. They're going to lose 4 stars defensively, and they're going to lose major deep defensive depth. No choice about it. Major depth they're going to lose. So Seattle's time is now. And we spoke about yesterday, AFC. I think Indianapolis is going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. Morning, Greg. Indianapolis is going to represent Super Bowl AFC. They look like they're ready. Andrew Luck got more weapons. He got healthier. And he's a force. He's a monster. He can win the game by himself. Him and Aaron Rodgers, two best quarterbacks in football. I mean, obviously, Brady's a winner, but I would make, Aaron Rodgers and Andrew Luck two best. Brady, biggest winner. We could make Brady number one if you're looking at winning. He's got the 4 rings, but, for my money right now, Rodgers and Luck are the two best, and Luck is just going to have an unbelievable MVP year. He's going to dominate. They can win 13 games. They can go 13-3, Indy. Jets, who knows, their first first preseason game was abysmal, brutal, painful, embarrassing, and, when you say embarrassing for the Jets, it's normal occurrence. If you're a Jet fan, Jet organization, they're a joke. They're a legit joke. It's embarrassing. Geno Smith now is in the wrong, we hear. We hear he pointed and put his pointer finger in his face. Guy probably deserved to get his jaw broken. I mean, you can't put your fingers in a defensive guy's face that outweighs you by 40 pounds that you're trying to fuck out of $600 that you're trying to berate in front of your team. Somebody's going to take a swing at you, and he did. And look, he's definitely not in the wrong. Geno, you're in the wrong. He's playing for Buffalo. He's going to try to knock you out during the game, during the year. You're going to see him. You're going to see him twice a year, matter of fact, but ever. So, but you may never see anything. You may never, ever go on the field again as a Jet. I mean, that's a possibility. Legit, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. Legit. And I really like you. And I thought you were going to have an epic year, but, Geno, you're probably done in New York. It's going to be real rough coming back after this. So broken jaw probably is the least of your problems in New York right now. All right, today on the card, you got 3 preseason games tonight. They're all-night games. You got some day baseball. I have a selection on Yankees Blue Jays. Obviously, Yankees have a major pitching advantage today. I mean, although Estrada is not a joke, he's not a bum. No issue about it. Mad respect for him. He's having a phenomenal year. But Tanaka, obviously, even though they're Toronto's favorite, very small favorite, $1.25 favorite, almost a pick'em game. We'll see if Tanaka could do anything. That's a 1 o'clock game. You got a couple of 1 o'clock games. Then you got the whole card at 4 o'clock for Major League Baseball. And then you got night baseball and stuff. Look for the reverse line moves in baseball. I think they're very valuable. They don't tell the whole story, but they do tell some of the story. And a reverse line move is when the line goes against the public. So the public's betting one side, but the line goes against that. That's called a reverse line move. And more than not, that means that's the sharp money. That's the sharp money. So, for example, last night, why I used Jacksonville in preseason football was a reverse line move where we knew Pittsburgh was playing nobody, even though that game was wow. I mean, that was an amazing game. If anybody watched the Steeler-Jaguar game for a preseason game, it's back and forth, lead changed 4 times in the last 2 minutes. I mean, what a game. What a game. But in other words, the world's betting Pittsburgh. They're assuming Pittsburgh can't look as bad as they did in the Hall of Fame game, only scoring 3 points and looking horrible and playing nobody. So you figure in game 2, they have an edge over Jacksonville, who hasn't played anybody. And the game opened pick'em, and then the game closed Jacksonville 1.5. So the line went up toward Jacksonville, but everybody bet Pittsburgh. That would be a reverse line move, and as it turns out, winner, 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 chicken dinner with Jacksonville. Doesn't always mean it's going to win, but it won yesterday. So on the card today, I'm selling my best bet as the Houston Texans, San Francisco 49ers. That's the game that I sell for $999. That's my premium game. That's my best bet. And I give that game away free with purchase of any package, whether it's a daily package, a weekly package, a monthly package, a seasonal package. Whatever it is, you'll get the $9.99 game absolutely free. Then I have a regular best bet in preseason football and a baseball best bet. And my father, the Godfather, every day posts. And he has a baseball best bet and a preseason best bet today. So the one-day package, you get 5 picks. Get 5 picks. And as always, you'll get a free selection, a free pick on the homepage of the website. We're doing phenomenal. 10 games over 500 already on the website, giving free winners. And every day it's posted. So you read my analysis before it goes. I post early, so you see it. And of course, we're hitting over 65%, right in front of you. So, right, very small sampling, only 25 games, but 65%, right or wrong. No two ways about it. 16-9, it's winning. And I think we're on a 10-4 run right now. We're 10-5 or 11-4, somewhere around there. It's posted on the website. So every day you get a free winner from me. Gearing up for the radio show, go in next week, meet the producer. And then we're going to go over the intros and the outros. So when I go to commercial, we're going to have music. And then we're going to have voiceovers and stuff like that. So I'm going to get that together. October 3rd is coming quick. And again, we open on a Saturday, a live show, noon to 1. I have a lot of surprises for everybody out here. And I have a lot of guests that are going to be in studio. And they're going to be calling in to wish me good wishes on the first show I've ever done, and it should be a lot of fun. And I'll be giving you free, pertinent information in the NFL and college football. And let's hope the Mets and the Yankees are still in first place and are still in the playoffs in October. And we'll be talking about the Mets and Yankees in the playoffs. Let's hope both teams make the playoffs. What a great run that'll be. And we'll be ready to roll. And, you still got, 2 months before hockey opens and before basketball opens. And we'll be talking Rutgers College Football, because WOR 710 AM is the flagship station of Rutgers College Football. So I'm going to have tickets for Rutgers College Football that I'll be giving away free in October, whatever home games are left in October. But now they're in the Big Ten, so you're going to see all the biggies. You're going to see the Michigan. You're going to see everybody. You're going to see all the big names. Big Ten's back. Rutgers is there. Rutgers held their own last year. Really held their own. And played very well in the bowl game. So they held their own, Rutgers. So Rutgers College Football is back, and now that they're in the Big Ten, we're going to be using them exclusively because we're going to be going to their camps, watching them, and we're going to get some really solid information. So we'll have the pulse of Rutgers College Football. You can absolutely count on me from day one. The first game that they open, okay, I will be on Rutgers College Football for or against them the entire year. We'll have some really rock-solid information on Rutgers, where you'll be betting those games. I'll be using them as premium games, Rutgers, this year, for or against. So make sure that you tune in for that. So, all right, I'm going to eat breakfast right now. I'm starving. I'm starving. I'm losing weight in front of the camera right now. And gearing up for the radio show, October 3rd, WOR 710 AM. And the world could see it, because as long as you have the iHeart app, doesn't matter where you are. You could be in fucking Russia. You could be watching Stu Feiner. You could be listening to Stu Feiner. Really, it's not going to be streaming live. But you could listen to Stu Feiner on the iHeart app. So it doesn't matter where you are. So the iHeart app will get you my show live every Saturday and every Sunday. You listen to me, 12 to 1. And no matter what you're doing, you got to tune in, because I'll be giving you late-breaking information. Information that'll be valuable. Information that'll help you win. The latest up-to-date information. Not like these other people who do shows that are recorded on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, that make it seem like they're really live Saturday, Sunday when you're listening to a show. You know, when you tune in on these networks that have 5 shows in a row, they're all pre-recorded. They're all outdated. That was recorded 5 days ago. This is a live show. I will be live. The latest up-to-date information live. And I'll be taking callers. We'll be giving away New York Giant tickets, New York Jet tickets, and Rutgers college football tickets. And hopefully Met Yankee tickets, playoff tickets, but, we don't know if they're going to be there yet. Right now, season ended August 15th. We're in. We're in first place. Rah, rah. Let's rock and roll. But, we still got 40-plus games of baseball to be played. And, everything could go down to the wire. But now we have the extra wild card play-in. We have a lot of buffer. We have a lot of room. Who would ever think? Middle August. Mets and Yankees in first place. Amazing. All right, I'm going to leave you with that thought. As always, I love you. God bless you. Hug it out with your family. Bye-bye.